Yeah, yeah.
It's live now, sir.
Yes, yes, it is live now.
Okay.
1 minute. Yes, it
Should
is
I,
live now.
should I start, sir?
Yes, yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Welcome you all in this webinar, and it is a effort of Library Professional Association as well as the Purnima Group of Institution, Jaipur, and it is a collaborative activities conducted by LP and group Purnima Group. In this regard, I may request our President of LPA, Library Professional Association, Dr. R.N. Malviya, to give brief introduction about the LPA and this webinar. Sir, please.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. I would like to request all the participants kindly mute their audio. I, Dr. Ramanand Malviya, President of LPA, welcome to all in the online webinar on digital learning through National Digital Library of India on 27th May by Mr. Shivabroto Banerjee, Principal Project Officer, System National Digital Library of India, IIT Kharagpur. Mr. Shivabroto Banerjee speech is on the digital learning through National Digital Library of India. It is very important for the library professionals, teachers, researchers, students, and academicians. Digital library are getting importance as the use of ICT and internet is becoming more available in approachable. It is observed many times digital libraries provide numerous benefits to the librarians and the users digital library learning and other aspect of the students. In 21st century has been rightly turned into the digital era with the heavily depends on the usage of technology to even complete simple tasks. Most of you must have heard about the digital learning. The e-education has certainly ignited by teaching sectors are gone into these blackboards, the chalks and dusters. They have been substituted with the web-based education with strengthen students' learning experience. Digital learning can be defined as web-based learning which effectively make use of information technology to impart knowledge to the students. In fact, this has been introduced only a few years ago and has got tremendous response from all over the world. In other words, it is also known as the smart teaching techniques, and as such, most the schools and educational institutions have gladly adopted this method, thereby bringing a closer changes in the educational system. The kids are taught with the help of large LCD screens and projectors, which is beyond the conventional methods of teaching. It facilitates the learning process anywhere and anytime. The teacher now does not have to take the pains of writing on the blackboards with white chalks and then erase it afterwards. We have to be enhanced and familiar with the different types of digital learning tools. National Digital Library is a digital repository of the vast amount of the academic content in different formats of the provides interface supports of leading Indian language for all academic levels, including researchers and lifelong learners, all disciplines, all popular from as access devices and differently abled learners. This is Ministry of HRD initiative and coordinator of this NDL is IIT Kharagpur. Library Professional Association welcomes Mr. Shivabroto Banerjee to accept our request for his speech. This ninth online webinar is organized by Library Professional Association, New Delhi, and Purnima Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur. Convener of this webinar is Professor Dinesh Goel, Director Principal of Purnima Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur. Moderator of this webinar is Mr. Salek Chand, Secretary, LPA, New Delhi. This webinar has widespread attention and overwhelming response both in the terms of participation and the subject is current needs and important to the library professionals, students and teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Malviya. Now we are very lucky today that Professor and Dr. Dinesh Goel sir, he is a very dynamic personality and he is with us today in distancing mode, or we can say the online mode. We are maintaining the formula of the Prime Minister. We have to talk distancing in mode. So he is very dynamic and intellectual personality, and I can say in other words, he is the leader of leaders, and he is working as a director, Purnima Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur, and he has just given the brief about him. But I may request him to please give few words for this webinars and about your institute, sir. Professor Goel, sir.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Dinesh Goel, Director, Purnima Institute of Engineering and Technology. First of all, I welcome all the experts and coordinators of the activity. I thank Dr. Banerjee from IIT Kharagpur, who's coordinating NDL on behalf of MHRD and IIT Kharagpur. I thank Mr. Salek Chand for organizing this event, and of course, the chairman of the LIPA, Dr. R.N. Malviya. And I also thank Ms. Sunita Parikar, librarian, who has been able to become a bridge between LIPA and Purnima Institute of Engineering Technology, so that we can host this event together. So, sir, I am a computer engineer. Just to share you background, I am a computer engineer. So, technology is part of our life, and we have seen this digital transformation in last 10 years or so, where education has moved from classroom mode to flip mode, and now flip mode to, in this pandemic, it has moved more to only on class what you call digital mode now. I, being a director of a campus and being a father also, I have seen this technology being used widely for teaching our students and my kids. My kids were taught at home by their school teachers, and we were doing the same for our students also. So digital platforms have evolved like anything to serve the nation in this pandemic, and education has not stopped just because kids were not able to go to schools or colleges. And platforms like NDL have helped students to get resources online, so that they can access what teachers are providing resources to them through online mode, and they can prepare better study material. So platforms like NDL and other MHRD initiatives like virtual labs and all other initiatives taken by MHRD to support the education at home also has changed that education scenario, at least in India, and of course globally it was earlier there only. Even now, UGC is planning to have online, has already allowed 100 universities to offer online courses also. So platforms like NDL and all, every such platform of library resources will be an asset to the country. And I was just going through a literature of NDL, and of course, Mr. Banerjee will be going a good light on that. It is a platform with more than millions of literature available, which is shared amongst all the institutions across India, both on and it can be accessible. A person staying in Jaipur can also access a book available in IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur library. He can even rent it also. So such a platform is a need of the hour, and need of the hour, and it will be future of education also. With these words, Purnima Institute of Engineering Technology, only institute in Rajasthan which is completely NBA and NAC accredited. All the programs are NBA accredited and 100% NBA NAC accredited institution, welcomes all the participants of the event. And I request Mr. Salek Chand to proceed further with the session of Mr. Banerjee, please. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Professor Goel, for sharing very valuable information with us and collaborating this mega event today. And really, You have shared a lot of information with us. So thank you very much for sparing your valuable time, as I know you are very busy persons nowadays also. But thank you once again to you for sharing this very valuable information with us. Now I may request our esteemed speaker, Sri Banerjee sir. He is very well-known personality in the very national and international level institute, that is NDLI, National Digital Library of India, and IIT Kharagpur. So I may request to sir. Now it is over to you, sir. Please, you may continue, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Malviya. Thank you, Dr. Goel, and thank you, Mr. Salekcha, for inviting me to this webinar. I'll just hide all of you from this
Yeah.
live, and I'll show my presentation only. Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sunita, be ready at the end of this presentation.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Good evening, all of you. Before I start, I just tell you something about this National Digital Library of India. This is spearheaded by IIT Kharagpur. Project has been offered by Ministry of Human Resources Development, Government of India, and this was a project under NME ICT. I think all of you know this. Myself, Mr. Shivabroto Banerjee, I'm heading the systems team currently in NME ICT. I think all of you know. Mr. Shivabroto Banerjee, I'm heading the systems team currently. Mr. Salekcha, could you please mute your microphone?
Sir, can I stop?
Or okay, I just remove you from the stream temporarily. I will again call you back later.
Okay. Can I?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Salekcha. So this is introduction about myself. So today our agenda will be I'll say something about digital education and its effects. In spite of this lockdown period, our NDLI staff has worked day and night to make this success. Then I will go through some NDLI walkthrough of the pages, new front end with some of the new features, and then I will speak something about NDLI Club, which is still in the streamline. I will be launching soon, and then I will lastly the registration, how to do a registration in NDLI. So this is the first. I think many of you have seen this book. I think so. If not, then please go through this story. This is a very interesting story. In the fun they had. This is something about what we are seeing today as our students are learning from their home, sitting at their home, and getting in touch with the schools and their teachers and everything. And then finally they are having their classes and so on. So this is a story, the fun they had. This has been written by Isaac Asimov. There is a link at the bottom of this page. You just go to that link, and you will see that in NDL also, or you can just search for the fun they had by Isaac Asimov in NDL page. It is there. The future of schools. What should be the future of the schools? Like now, what they are learning, going to classes and learning from a teacher, maybe which. Now students feel bored of going to school and something like that, but at that time the students will be sitting at their home, and they may again feel bored getting to know from the same teacher. Like maybe there may be a what called a robot like thing, or a computer in front of them from where they will learn all these things. Right now in this was written by Isaac Asimov long back in 1951. I think just at that time how he has imagined how the school would be. What we are talking of today, what we are thinking of today, has been thought of by this author long back. So coming to the definition of digital learning is an instructional practice that ultimately helps students. Ultimately, our aim is to help students in their learning process. And it also use of a broad range of technology enhanced educational strategies. What is what technologies we use? Just this webinar, we have attended a lot of seminars and all these things, conferences, but this is a webinar which we are, as we cannot go for seminars and all these things, so we are sitting at home and attending to webinars at our ease. Right now it includes blended learning, flipped learning, personalized learning, and other strategies that rely on digital tools to a small or large degree. Right, so this is the general definition of a digital learning. So now this comes a quote from Octave. This is an author. He has written in 1894 in End of Books. With the coming of new media, the need of print on paper will rapidly diminish. The day will soon arrive when the world's literature would be available for the automatic library at the mere press of a button. Just think, in 1894, merely the paper is very much there. But think of, at that time, a person is written about an automatic library. Just think of their imagination. So now coming to the effects of a digital learning. This is a flipped classroom. As you know that nowadays traditional classrooms are there. Homework activities are done at their home. But in flipped classroom, there is no such timings for class. See, at the maybe at particular time, I have seen my daughter is having classes maybe at 7 o'clock, maybe at 8 o'clock, whatever it is, but she is having her own classes, right? Yeah, I just my voice is doubling. Okay. Acha, just let me see. Just let me see. Why it is doubling? Achha. Hello, maybe I am audible now. Is it doubling now? Is it doubling now? I think not. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now the flipped classroom, as in traditional classroom, we have seen that students are having their lecture classes in their classroom and then coming to home and then doing their homework. But in flipped classroom, there is no such restriction over there. They can meet at any point of time. They can discuss. They can have their classes at any point of time. So this is a difference between a flipped classroom and a regular classroom. So this flipped classroom will replace the lectures. Now, another effect is that learning will be mobile and accessible at any time, anywhere from your pocket. So anytime, anywhere, you can just sit and start your mobile, start your tab, start your laptop. You have sufficient power in a charged laptop, and you just start working. See, the person is working, just sitting over a dry tree, right? Now, another effect of digital learning is blended learning. Like we have heard of classroom coaching and all these things, but here it is a blended learning, means face-to-face training, but it is not happening to in front of a student or a teacher, a virtual classroom kind of a thing. In place of seminars, we have webinars. We have links. We don't give the books, but we give the links of the books to the students. We have simulations in our animations. We have some simulations to do in NDL. Also, you will have some simulations in a lot of pages. You just go through this site. There are some online assessment as well. So all these are combined to a blended learning kind of thing. So now for whom we do this digital learning? Now we say that our next generation, like our kids, they are very much tech savvy kind of thing. As I do not understand many things, but my kids understand a lot of things. they say that they come up with saying that, acha, you don't know this. Because see, initially once I got my smartphone, I used to learn many things by searching in Google, but I don't know where she have learned from. But so see, the new generation, they are well versed with all this. They are well versed with their new technology like laptops, iPads, smartphones, even not smartphones, even very smartphones. I don't know when it will come, maybe in end of 2000, maybe in 2021, maybe some new smartphones have come up, very smartphones have come up. So in that case, they will be again smarter in that. So actually our digital learning will be focused to them. We will not look at us and then think for a digital learning. We will we will focus on them, that our next generation will be much more tech savvy. I have seen many old men, while they are going to an ATM counter, they are not enough expert to handle the ATM this thing. But during this but I feel very awkward that if I was at that age, I would also face a lot of problems. But I have crossed that age. Now I am very much conversant with ATM, withdrawing money in ATM. But our next generation, once they come, they will be very much tech savvy. So they won't require all these things. They will know everything. So our digital learning focus must be the children of the next generation. So how do we do this kind of a digital learning? Digital learning is not only thinking of something, we'll implement, we'll do some virtual. No, not that. We need to implement the back end of each and everything is our hardware, is our latest hardware, our latest software, latest technology which is available in the market. We may use open source, we may not use open source, because it is not necessarily that each and every thing has an open source of it. But if you use open source, that's fine. Otherwise, if you are not using an open source software, that also is very good. But the latest technology and latest hardwares must be used. So in this context, National Digital Library of India, this is an initiative by the government of India to promote digital education and e-learning for the students at all levels, research scholars and lifelong learners. Students at all levels, right from KG, kindergarten, to PG, postgraduate. Each and every students have their own content. If you go to our portal, you will see that all the students, right from KG to PG, every student have their own contents. If you want to spend time with books, you have your storybooks. National Book Trust storybooks are there. If you want to study, you have your study materials. If you are a student of class class 6, you have your own study materials, you have your own animations, you have to learn many things out of this. If you are a research scholar, you have your own contents, you have your own research papers, publications hosted by many institutes of the country, and you are a lifelong learner. You have again, you have a lot of research which are done. Okay, so due to this, NDL was dedicated to the nation by the then Minister for Human Resources Development, Mr. Javadekar, on 19th June 2018. That was a great day. We are very proud at that very day. Mr. Javadekar has launched our portal, and he has also said that it is the high time that India speaks for itself, to highlight, offer and share its own cultural, spiritual, academic and scientific heritage on its own terms. Right now, the mission of NDL is to create a 24/7 enabled, integrated, ubiquitous digital knowledge source. So this is a big thing, to create a 24/7 enabled integrated architecture. So this is a big thing to create. You cannot make a thing run 24/7, because there are lot of things to keep in mind, a lot of things to take care, a lot of things to monitor. Each and every layer of the servers needs to be monitored. Each and every software applications need to be monitored. So this is a very big thing. And digital knowledge source, yeah, we are obviously digital, and knowledge source, yes, we bring you a great knowledge source from throughout the country, maybe abroad. And our next mission is to protect and preserve India's cultural and academic and scientific heritage. So this is again another big important thing, like our cultural heritage, which cultural heritage, they have wear and tear, and they are lost after some time. And we need to preserve those cultural heritage. We need to tell our next generation that there was this kind of a fort. Initially it was looking like this, but unfortunately maybe due to wear and tear, the fort has that does not resemble the same look as maybe after 20 years, maybe after 30 years from now. But you have a complete picture of the fort, maybe in a virtual way, so that the students or maybe our next generation can understand that's something like this. So this kind of preserving this cultural heritage is very important thing. Preserving our photographs, preserving the audio lectures of the great personalities. We have some very good audio lectures of some great personalities. So these needs to be preserved. Yes, and also academic and scientific heritage. So the perspective of NDLI is initially, like there was a what called survey by FICCI, and they made that how, like, if you want to make India educate, say after a period of for 10 years, so you see that after 10 years you see that all the Indians are educated, so 100% literacy is there. So you need to bring up every year, every month 6 universities and 270 colleges, 270 colleges every month. If you need to bring, if you think that in next 10 years I will educate each and every Indian, so this is somewhat impossible. This is not possible physically. So NDL is use of a digital technology to handle the situation, because unless otherwise you go for digital technology, you cannot educate so many people at a time. Like our seminars, you might agree with me that all the seminars you have attended, maximum you have got 100 participants, 200 participants, 500 participants. But in this webinar, maybe in some other webinars also, I personally have seen around 1,000 participants participating. Because see, in a seminar you cannot accommodate 1,000 participants. In a seminar you cannot accommodate more than 100 or 150 participants. But in a webinar you can accommodate 2,000, maybe 10,000 participants. So this is the what called usefulness of a digital technology, right? So National Digital Library can provide a disruptive innovation design to overcome this challenge. Now, this made NDL win a MBillion South Asia Award in 2017 due to this mobile app. The mobile app was developed in 2017 and we had got the award. And it's also Gems of India. This is also a big, this also by the ministry, and we got this award in 2019 last year. This was in e-governance. So these two awards are really, we are grateful to this team, these two teams for giving us this award. Right. So now comes our vision. Now, in this vision, to build up NDLI as a national knowledge and cultural asset. Just last slide, last to last slide, I was told that our two aims. One is to make a digital repository or digital knowledge powerhouse, you can say, to cater all the needs of the next generation and also preserve our cultural heritage. So these two are our vision. So this for the key driving force for education, research, cultural heritage, innovation, and knowledge sharing in India. So this will promote. If we make this National Digital Library a great success, then our next generation will be driven for education, research, cultural heritage, everything. So India will have a digital form of everything, so that the students are never losing knowledge from of our India from our digital library. So now our vision for this is mainly motto of NDL is mainly open and inclusive. So what do we mean by open? We are open to all. We always say that whatever contents you contribute to NDLI must be in open. As we have seen, if you go to National Digital Library Portal, you will see that there are JEE question papers, there are what called JEE solutions, past year question papers, their solutions, their answers, not only the answers, like there are multiple choice questions, not only the answer, but how you reach from the question to the answer, that is also there. So all are given open access. So if a student wants to learn, he can learn from this. So that's why we are open to all. We always say that as many as students log in, as many as initially there was problem in like those who don't have a email address, like email address, many students doesn't have email address. So are they not be able to access NDL? No, they can access. NDL is now open to all. Even if you registration is required for very few sources, registrations are required, but a student, a general student, will not need that. A general student, if he wants to learn, he can go into just login, start the portal and start learning. There is no such restriction of registration and all these things, right? We are also inclusive, means we include everything. Whatever educational content we see throughout the country, we include that. Like recently, once this lockdown has started, we had a problem, like all the students were stuck at home and they were not able to go for their classes. Immediately we started a series called Faculty Contribution. So if you go to NDL, look for browser, I will show you in the later slides that faculty contribution. So this has come up as a including in NDL, so that the students, engineering students, or those who cannot take their classes going to their colleges or universities, can sit at home and read those contents. Now we come to NDLI's contribution to digital education. Now in these are the 2 pages of NDL which has been changed. The NDL website, I think if you have logged into NDL earlier, you might see that the look now is completely different as it was earlier. We have a separate set of collections and all these things, and our mobile site looks the same. So this is the new language, this thing. And our next feature of NDL is a multilingual interface. So not only we have contents in English, but also we have contents in several other languages. Not only contents, we have interface also in that particular language. If you do not understand English, if you understand Gujarati, you can make the interface into Gujarati. You can look into the contents so that you understand the links better. What do they say? If you understand Odia, you can see. If you understand Malayalam, you see. So there are this multilingual interface also helps the students from very rural areas, so that they can learn from NDL. Now contents at all levels. Now we have contents, as I have said earlier, from school, from to undergraduate, to postgraduate, to the research, to a lifelong learner. Even if you want to have some entertainment, you just go into NDL, read, go to a search, browse by source, and you look for LibriVox. You will see audiobooks. A lot of audiobooks are there. If your child wants to read some storybooks, there is National Book Trust. There are many books from National Book Trust. He or she could go there. So each and every time of the day, once you are awake, you can learn from NDL. Now this is a new feature which we have added in NDL during this COVID-19 lockdown to promote the COVID-19 research currently throughout in our country. We have included scholarly publications, data sets, document videos, journals, conferences, ideas and funding, and most interestingly, challenges and startup related to COVID-19 research. So if you go into NDL and you see there is a subsection called COVID-19 Research Repository, you will see there all these things are there. So scholarly publications, you will see a lot of publications which have been done due to basically on this COVID-19 research. They are data sets related to all those computation, to do all those analysis and all these things. There are some document videos to understand all these things, and there are some journals which are related to all this COVID-19 research. Some ideas and funding. If you need some funding for your research related to COVID-19, you can see whatever fundings are available with the ministry. And if you want to do a startup as well, or face some challenges, take a real challenge in your life to start your own startup in this COVID-19 lockdown, then you can also come to this portal and see. Now our this is a study from home. This is a new thing which is also included into it, but the contents are the same. But we had put several buckets. We had put around 7 buckets here. So school, engineering, science, humanities, literature, management, law. So all these are several buckets. If you go into each of these, you will see there are a lot of contents, mainly focused to engineering, maybe focused to science, maybe focused to humanities. So earlier you used to filter out those contents. If you have gone into NDL portal, you will see that all those contents which you were after logging to NDL, you will see that you need to filter out those contents, what type of contents, or engineering, all this. So we had avoided that and made separate collections out of this. So this will help you immediately to start your study from home. And these are the new. This is a totally new thing in NDL. This was not there earlier. So this is a featured collections of NDL. Like this year, we had a birth centenary of Mr. Satyajit Ray, who is a legendary filmmaker. You know, he had got a lot many awards, even a Bharat Ratna from our country. So specifically his collections, his works, all these are in a single bucket, you can say. We can see on this day, like you see on this day on history, what has happened, if somebody wants to know. So that is another bucket. Person of the week, the person of the week who has contributed, who has done all these things. So that's another collection. The topic of the week. So what is the topic today? This week, what was the topic? So this week it was pandemics in history, and talks and webinars related to NDL. So that is also there in this featured collections. So if you want to understand NDL a bit depth, then we need to understand the metadata of NDL. So what is this is the heart of NDL, we say. So as you know, I think all of you are librarians, so you know very well what is the metadata. It's primarily a textual information related to contents. So this textual information will make you understand, or will make you understand, take you to the content, but it is not actually the content. It will take you to the content, but not the content, right? Now it includes information that enables users to identify, discover, search, browse, interpret, or manage content. Yes, we understand this very well. So this helps us, this metadata helps us to browse, interpret, manage content. This metadata also has a hyperlink. This hyperlink takes the user from the NDL page to the content page where actually the content is posted. If we are showing you content locally from NDL, then it is fine. Otherwise, if the content is posted outside, there is a proper hyperlink in metadata. It's a part of the metadata. This hyperlink will take you to the content source directly. This may include expressive description of the content. This metadata has a description of the content, but it is not actually the content. Here, one thing to mention is that NDL does not store contents. If it have stored contents, then there will be issue of copyrights and all these things. So it generally does not store contents. It ingests the metadata and it provides a link. From that link, if you are taken to that particular content source, and the content is being delivered from there. Sometimes the full text indexing is also stored in NDL. Now looking at the use model of NDL. Now the content access, as you understand, this content access is by physically challenged researchers, learners, and professionals. So all these can access the content. So how the content is coming? So first of all, the content is coming from the contributing institutions. Say maybe somebody wants to donate content, somebody wants to have a wants to maybe give their collection to NDL. Maybe there is some NGO maybe it's a government body, they want to donate content. So these are called contributing institutions. So they donate content, or they provide the links to the content with the metadata to NDL. NDL, what it does, takes the metadata, curates, some bit of curation is required, because the metadata structure or the schema at their end and our end may be different. So after this content is curated, then this content is uploaded into NDL portal. Another way of getting content is from the institutional digital repositories. That means from the institutes. So these institutes, what they do, they put up a portal where the institutional digital repository is hosted, and there they put up their PhD thesis, dissertations, and whatever may be what called video lectures, audio lectures, lecture notes, question papers, everything are being put up there. And from there we harvest the content. That means we take the metadata from the institutional repositories and ingest into NDL. Also, we have a learning management system which actually have records each and every contents, each and every access, each and every what called clicks of the user. Say a user has searched for content, search is searching with a keyword, and he or she is looking for a particular content, and that content is actually seen by him, and he scrolls the contents. And so each of these events are being stored by the learning management system. Now what is the content in NDLI? So content at NDLI is a born digital object. We always say that it's a born digital object. If it is a born digital object, then it can be full text can be extracted from that, right? And it could also be a scanned object, but with proper, very rich set of metadata is required in that case. If it is a scan, because full text cannot be indexed, so it needs to be have a rich set of metadata. It could be a digital surrogate of a physical object. Digital surrogate, maybe what called a temple is there. You cannot put the temple into NDL, so you take a photograph of that temple, you put it into NDL. So that's the digital surrogate of a physical object. And digital metadata of a physical object. The surrogate which you have created, this is a digital surrogate, and also you need to make a metadata for that physical object. Maybe it may not be, it is such a thing that photographs cannot be taken, it cannot be scanned or something like that. You can also put the metadata there. You say that this content is available at this. You need to contact this person. You put up a content that you need to contact this person to get to know what is this, right? So that at least people know that, okay, this content is available there, right? So all these things are to be put up in NDL. Now, what is the metadata at NDL? So metadata, NDL does not store contents, as I have said earlier. It only ingests metadata for search and browse, and content or full text is delivered from the source. So as we have already done metadata, let's go to the next slide. So there are 293 total content providers or content contributors. Here there are a list of few featured content contributors. Some of you can see your institutes over here. Microsoft and DOAJ is also there. Here I have said LibriVox. You can also see LibriVox as a content over here. IEEE Explore, they have given their content. South Asia Archives. All these have a good featured contribution to NDL. Now there are 20 content contributors. Top of them is World eBook Library, as you know. They have donated around 77 lakh contents. Then is CiteCRX, PubMed Central, IEEE Explore Digital Library. All these things are there. So this is a somewhat top 10, 20 content contributors. So range of contents, coming to this range of contents, what are the content range we have? We have lecture slides, videos, class notes, courseware, term papers, laboratory experiments, question banks, JEE, GATE questions, their solutions, their model answers. So everything is provided in case of schools and institutions for students pursuing or students preparing for higher education and all these things. So this is meant for the school. We have for the research scholars and all these professionals, we have faculty publications, electronic thesis and dissertations, PhD thesis, books and periodicals, annual reports, project reports, encyclopedia, dictionaries, and all these things. So these are for the research. This is somewhat a bit advanced thing. So we have this for the research scholars. Recently, we have data sets, we have benchmark models, maps, softwares, manuscripts, we have old newspapers as well, audio and video contents. All these things are available. So this is we have divided our content into 3 separate clusters. So one is for schools, higher education and boards, one for research and professionals, and for institutional and open contributions from the institutes, right? So these are the range of contents. So there are several access options in NDL. One is you will see once you search or once you go into the NDL, you will see this kind of symbols which are available just below the search result, but just below each result of NDL. So once you see all these things, you just remember what these symbols mean. If you see an open lock in green, you sure that that content is open. You need not do a registration in NDL. You need not do anything. That content is open for all. And if you see just below that, if you see NDL users kind of a thing, wait. If you see NDL users, like a symbol here, a symbol of a person, written NDL below it, you will always remember that this content has been subscribed by NDL. This content is available only if you log into NDL, otherwise not. Like South Asia Archive, World eBook Library, their sites are registered from NDL itself. So if you go into South Asia Archive directly, you will not be able to view their contents. But if you go through NDL, you will be able to view their contents directly, right? And limited access, if you see this symbol, you will understand this is for limited access. That means you need to get yourself registered, like ISAR Bhopal. If you go into ISAR Bhopal site, you will see the contents have limited access. You cannot directly access those contents. If you see a orange lock but it is open, that means the content is subscribed. Like if you have your own subscription for Springer, if Springer is subscribed for your institute, then only you can view this content, otherwise not. It is not that your Springer is subscribed for your institute and you want to see a green lock open. It will not happen, because NDL is for all. So you will see an orange lock open. That means you need to know that this content is from such a source. The source name is also written at the bottom. So you will see that this content is from such a source that source need a subscription. Okay, and then if it is a red lock, then it is totally locked. So you need to register yourself with the content provider to get download or see the content, right? And I would request all of you to take. I will take questions at the end of this session once I finish my speech. So this NDL is a platform for all learners, school, college, professionals. I have said it a lot of times. So let us go to an NDL walkthrough. See, this is the new page of NDL. So this is a new page of NDL, and we have 3 set of collections. One is the study at home, COVID-19 research repository, and then a featured collection, right? So let us see what all these collections mean. So this is a school collection. See here in my earlier slide, at the bottom you have some links like what called how to register, what are some FAQs or carriers in NDL. So all these things you have at the bottom, right? So this is the page. We'll just have a quick walkthrough in NDL to understand what each and every collection or what each and every bucket look like. So this is a collection from school. You have video lectures, you have JEE preparation materials, simulations activities, books from CBSE, NCERT and other state boards also, books for general reading. So these general reading books have some story books. NCERT books is very much important for the students of NCERT and CBSE. JEE preparation materials are very much important. You'll see that the source name is NDL Tutor, so please go through it. If you have some aspirants doing preparing for JEE, please ask them to log into this JEE preparation material and let us know if something else is also needed. Your feedback is also important for us to make our site better. So there are some video lectures, there are some spoken tutorial, exam fear, Khan tutorial, Exploratorium is another important source. Just go through that source from NDL and see that there are some interesting experiments done in Exploratorium. And TED or TED is also very much important. So they have given their content to NDL. We are linked from NDL. So you need to, earlier you need to know that where you will go. You need to go to Khan Academy and then learn something. Then you need to go to TED to learn something. Then you need to go to some exam fear to learn something else. So all these things you need not do. You go to NDL, you see each and everything, you click on whatever you want to learn, just start learning. That's all. So this is that's what our school was. This is the collection engineering. We have covered most of all the engineering streams as we have got. These have video lectures, your class notes, question papers, a lot of things are there. Please go through this collection. Engineering students, I would say. For science students, there are some common subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, and everything is there. Apart from that, you have agricultural science, atmospheric science, biology and biotechnology, chemistry, computer science is also a science, environment science, mathematics, nanotechnology, physics. All these things are a different approach for. These are for higher education students. These are students for graduation, undergraduate students, for postgraduate students. All these contents are for them. Even for humanities, we have a different collection. So the students of humanities can browse through their own bucket and find out their relevant information. All kind of informations are there. So collection, literature collection is a collection, different collection. So we have collected, we have accumulated all the literature books and their related materials over here. Even if you want to learn Sanskrit, learn Hindu, Urdu, you can come to this collection. We have collections for management students. We have collection for law students. So all these were the collection. Now, the COVID-19 repository, as I was saying, this COVID-19 repository, this is the scholarly publication bucket. In this scholarly publications, COVID-19 repository, one of the good features of a COVID-19 repository is that you can further search in a COVID-19 repository. You may not search in NDL. You just come to COVID-19. You just come to COVID-19 repository. Search within that repository. It is possible to search within a COVID-19 separately from NDL. It is not that you you need to go to NDL, then search, then filter, then come to COVID-19. It is not required. You simply go to scholarly publications in COVID-19, you search from there. So this is a COVID-19 research repository, and for scholarly publications, these are for the data sets which we did not have earlier. This is a very important collection. This is the data set made by a lot of very important institutions, ICMR and all these things. They are put up their data over here, so you can browse that data. Ideas and fundings, one of the most important. I have told you that what are the fundings available. You want to pursue your research in COVID-19, or a student want to pursue their research in COVID-19. So what are the government funding available over here? Their related news, blogs, and whatever, how to apply and how to do all these things. So those are already over here. So COVID-19 is a very focus area of NDL during this lockdown period. This comes the COVID-19, the challenges, and if you want to do a startup kind of a thing, you can come to this page. And each and every page, I just show you, you just see a suggest a resource is also there. Suggest a resource. You see at the right corner, right, not the top right corner, but middle of that, you see a suggest a resource is there. So this suggest a resource, if you want, if you are not seeing some resource which is available in the net, but it is not present in NDL, please let us know. We will accept your suggestion. We will include into NDL. This is a very important thing. If you click on this suggest a resource, you will come to this research resources contribution form. There is a big form over here. So if you want to contribute for this COVID-19 research, you can contribute from here. This is a very good feature of NDL. If you want to really do a contribution to NDL, NDL will remember your contribution and it will be added to it. This contribution will be helping ultimately lot many students, lot many aspirants in this COVID-19 research. Now you know that this is some kind of thing we say content stitching. Say a student or a research scholar wants to see a particular journal, he can see all the volumes and issues and all these things. So it is not that the volumes and issues he need to look for a particular article. He can see that this article belongs to this particular issue and this particular issue belongs to that particular volume. So this is very important, that if you know the not only you know the article, but if you do not know the title of the article, you can search from all the volumes and all the issues of a particular journal, so that you can reach for a to a particular your interested content. This is done with the help of content stitching. Technically, we tell NDL we say content stitching. So this is another important thing, faculty contribution. As I've said, that if a faculty wants to contribute their contents, he or she could mail to us, let us know. We can put up their video lectures. If the video lectures are hosted in YouTube or maybe in their channel, we can put up their video lectures, their presentations, their question papers, and they can tell their students that, see, just go to this link and look for your required content. I have kept my presentation in NDL. Go to NDL and look for my presentation. This is the link. You give the students your link in the link to that particular content in NDL. The student will directly go to NDL and visit that link and finally come. Right? This is a very good thing which we have done in faculty contribution. So these are some more faculty contribution. If you want to see only faculty contribution, you can browse by source. See here on the right hand side, there is a browse by source where you select faculty contribution, and there are 354 items currently. So this will go on increasing. So these are very much important, very much useful during this lockdown. So where the students are not able to go to their institutes. Now this is a featured collection. As I've said, the birth centenary of Satyajit Ray is this year, and we need to have some collections, some related. We have a lot of things of Satyajit Ray over here. We have his red books, which is known as Kheror Khata in Bengali. So if you go to the manuscripts of the films which he had made, the drawings which he have done, the plots for a particular shooting which he have done. So that is very important thing in NDL, which is hosted there in Satyajit Ray collection, right? Now this is the person of the week, Professor Shalap, Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He have donated some materials, teaching materials, books and research publications. So that was, thank you sir, thank you for your contribution. Talks and webinars which NDL hosts or NDL participates will be linked here. So if you want to revisit any talk which you might have missed, you can come here and see. You can click on the link and go through the webinars or seminars which NDL has hosted. This is the somewhat landing page in mobile. We are also present in Umang app. Umang app, as you know, this is Umang is a app for the government of India. This is very much popular. We are also with Umang. These are the mobile apps, how to search and how to browse in NDL. Just similar to what we have done here. Just go through your mobile app. We'll help you out. You can help yourself, right? And these are some statistics as we have done, as we have seen for the past few months, that NDL page earlier used to have around 30,000 or maybe 35,000 hits at the most. Just before exam, the hits goes up, but as much as 30,000 hits per day or 35,000 hits per day. But you just can't imagine that in last month, in the month of April, we have around 3.5 lakh hits per day, 3.5 lakh document view, not only search, but document views. So see, just imagine how many people have visited NDL, how many people have got the browsed the contents of NDL and helped themselves, right? So this is a great opportunity for you to use NDL and get to know maybe your kids, maybe your students, maybe your time pass and everything will be done from NDL. We have come in news as well. In some newspapers, they will say that National Digital Library reaches out to students amid COVID lockdown. So there was some news media report was there. So now if we come to a Google versus NDL, there is a case study kind of thing. We had done 2 case studies. Here is Payal is of class 8 and her native language is Hindi. Her final exams next month. She's particularly scared of physics. Payal's father has a Moto G5 with 4 GB RAM. It has Google, YouTube, and NDLI and Android app. And this is Shamik. Shamik is an engineering student. He's interested to apply for PhD position. He needs technical papers on magnetism to build his paper. Shamik has iPhone 7. It has Google, YouTube, and NDLI iOS app. So now what they have done, they are doing, Shamik is looking for magnetism as a search, and he has got so many results from Google. I don't know, maybe the results numbers will increase. This is some time back. So this is showing around 1.8 crore results. So maybe this result will go up after some time. But you cannot filter out those results as Shamik is unable to do that. But Shamik, once he is looking for magnetism in NDL page, he had got more or less a bit less results, but he has also got around 11 lakh results, and from that he has used a filter to look for career and technical papers. So he's interested in technical papers, and he had got 219 results, which is very much a controlled set of results from which Shamik can find out his own requirement. He can build his own CV. Now, for education level, for Payal, what has she done? She has she had filtered her contents using class 5 to 8 and Hindi. As she knows Hindi very well, see, Payal, she knows her native language is Hindi, so she knows Hindi very well, and her final exams next month, and she will learn physics in Hindi. So this will help Payal in learning, right? Now these are some comparisons given by Google and NDLI. So we have curated educational content. We can narrow down our search results using filters. We can modify based on audio and video books and all these things. We have some national licensing and all this, which Google does not have. So to summarize the NDL, it's a single window multilingual search and access. We no need to visit individual sites, as I've said. Covers entire spectrum of learners from KG to PG, all domains of education, all languages. We have multimedia contents. You can have NPTEL video lectures. You have Springer articles. You have spoken links. All these things are there. User interface for differently abled users. You have, if a differently abled user wants to see NDL, you can have a screen reader kind of thing which will read all our contents from the screen. Personalization, you can filter all your contents filter the results according to your requirement. You have collaborative learning environment for like I'll come to this later on, collaborative learning environment, and we have some national license also, democratization of education, right? Now the big picture, which I was just missed in the last part, this big picture says that National Digital Library will be providing contents to Swayam Prabha and Gyan, so that your courses are being done with the help of this portal, National Digital Library of India. Even government is also doing for some credit transfer kind of thing. So this credit transfer also happen through NDL. Like the certificates and everything will be given by Swayam and all the Swayam Prabha and all these channels. And this credit transfer from one university to another, and then virtual certification. As you have seen, lot many virtual certificates are floating around in Facebook and WhatsApp and all these things due to this pandemic lockdown and all these things. I think you might have also noticed. So that kind of e-certificate will also come up using this virtual certification. And I think all of you know about NAD, National Academic Depository, which will help you to put all your certificates over there. So I'll give you a brief, very 2 minutes introduction to NDLI Club. NDLI Club is in process, and it will launch within maybe very soon, and many students will be, school students will be getting this thing useful for them, finding this club for useful for them. So this objective of NDLI Club is to take knowledge resources of NDLI to every citizen of the country and promote the culture of reading. This is the reading or studying. This is the main aim of NDLI Club. So it will reach to each and every citizen. Club is somewhat a composition of people with a similar interest. So they form a club. So NDLI Club will be of something like that. So the composition of club will be at least one student from each class and one faculty member from each department, with librarian as an ex officio secretary and principal as an ex officio chairman of the club. Right? So this will be a composition of the NDLI Club. Club registration, you'll have Google Forms to register yourself as an NDLI club, and then students and faculty members, they will get themselves registered. Librarian will also get himself registered for your institute. This is somewhat a club registration form which will be which is already hosted. So now to bulk registration process in this, librarian as a nodal person. This nodal person sends the list of all users of the institute, email ID, first name and last name. See, each and every registration you need to do in NDLI Club, you need to have a valid email ID. Please use a valid email ID. Please be sure that what you are typing, that is right, because we have come up with a lot of queries from the users. Very unfortunate that they have typed in their wrong email IDs, and that led to a misunderstanding that NDL did not accept my registration. So please do not do that. Put your mail ID, and that mail ID must not be over quota, so that you do not receive mails from NDL. NDL generally sends out a lot of promotions, a lot of new contents, a lot of things, a lot of events you will not come to know if your email ID is not a proper one. So the NIST nodal person send it to this nodal person, the librarian being the nodal person, will prepare a CSV file, meaning their email ID, first name and last name, and this nodal person will be sending this CSV to ndlsupport@itkgp.ac.in. Automated mail will go to each and every users. User need to click on the link to get themselves registered and complete the registration process. So this personal email, collect the user's personal email that they regularly use. Yes, this is most important. This email is you should be using regularly, because you get to know a lot of information from NDL. Ensure that users remember their email ID and NDLI password. Email ID and the password by which NDL you have logged into NDL Portal or NDL Club Portal. This is very important. And verification of email is a must. So you will get a mail back once you are registered into the club. You will get a mail back to register to verify that your registration is done. And this is the kind of file which we'll be doing. And here are some activities of NDLI Club which we plan to do, like lecture series, quiz, story talk, go fishing, film screening, all these things. And NDLI draw, role play, write on, makers play space, debate, and all these things. So there are some activities of NDLI Club. I don't know what when will this be in full-fledged functional, but I would assure you that it will be a great leap in learning environment for the next generation. And these are some photographs where the NDLI Club, some meetings were there in South India. So this was held. Now, where to start? From NDLI Club members, submit the registration form online. Librarian to conduct an NDLI user awareness session for their users. They will mention how to register and how to access the NDLI sources. Conduct a monthly reading related activity. This is the activity of the club. This is not yet started. So once it is started, you will get to know a lot of information about the NDLI Club. incentive for NDLI Club, you'll get a trophy kind of a thing. These are our mentors have planned it in this way so that it keeps the users engaged each and every time, so that they get all the benefit out of this NDL, right? So this is a district level, national level, and state level. All these things will be there. So there are a competition kind of a thing which will be going on. Now, how to register into NDL? Though the registration is not mandatory, but if you register, it will be easier for us to track. So if you face really any problem, it will be easier for us to track. This is individual registration. Bulk registration is also there, but I would ask you to register individually. Log on to ndl.idkhb.ac.in or ndl.gov.in, whatever it is. You just register yourself, start browsing, and start using NDL. So this is a registration page of NDLI. These are the steps to register. Once you are done with your verification of the link, you will see that you can use your login and password to enter into NDLI portal. So that's all what I have said. So this is I say that let's get started. This is not the end. I will not say thanks. I will say thanks to all of you for listening to me so patiently. But this is the starting of all. This is the starting of a digital revolution. So we need all your help to gain success in this kind of a revolution. So join hands with NDL and join hands with the nation. Thank you so much.
Staff member, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Speaker. Hello?
Sunita ji, we cannot hear you.
Sir, wait a minute.
Yeah, we can hear.
Now, sir, you are audible?
Yeah.
पढ़ेगा इंडिया तो पढ़ेगा इंडिया, ठीक है सर?
Absolutely.
I, Sunita Parikh, on behalf of Purnima Group of Library staff member, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Speaker Dr. Shiba Brot Banerjee, Principal Project Officer Systems, National Digital Library of India, IIT Kharagpur. Thanks to convener of event or director Dinesh Goel sir, the network team, and the rest of Purnima Group. Special thanks to LP team, Dr. Salik Chand sir, Senior Documentation Officer and Head of the National Institute of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. R.N. Malviya sir also, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your hard work with us. Thanks to all the online attendees for your valuable time. Thank you very much. Please install NDL and for every student and guide them. It is very good site and very good app for everyone.
Achha, Sunita ji, one
sir.
more thing I just wanted to say. There are some few questions. I will take 2 or 3 of them. Just
Yes,
if you don't mind. So can
Yes,
I
sir.
take the questions? So
Yes,
just
sir.
I just take a question. This is from Ram Nivas Kumar. I am a writer of educational books. Most useful webinar would be an even after expiry of this lockdown. Thanks to the chat. Okay. No, I just wanted to have.
Yes, sir. I
Let me just see. There are some questions.
Yeah, yes, sir. Everyone is asking for PPT. I am already guided them.
I will send the PPT. No problem.
Yeah. You have sent a link of the PPT. Already
Yes,
you have mentioned in your presentation. Yeah, you have also already mentioned in your presentation the PPT link.
Yeah, no. That is not the PPT link. That is the link of the book which is much relevant. The first presentation, isn't it? I will send a link. I will send the link.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, anything else, sir?
If you are in my YouTube channel, you will see the link just below that. I will send just in that comment box. I will give you the link, or I will send the link to Mr. Salekchan so he can download it from there.
Okay, sir.
On Kusum Malik, there is a question. My question is that My library is an institutional member of NDLI, and when NAAC team inspected my college, they asked, show how many students use NDLI daily in my library. Yes, I can tell you that you are registered in NDL from your college. If you have your own institute, like if you have your own domain, I can tell you how many students are registered from your institute. But how many of them are in NDL? That is quite difficult to say. Okay.
Mr. Arpit Singh also asking for tell me how to registration. Hello.
Arpit Singh is asking how to register. Register, sir.
Yeah.
You need to go to NDLI's homepage, ndl.idkgp.ac.in, or www.ndl.gov.in, where you will see that account. There is some registration link is there. Register yourself. Or register. You need to give your email address. Then a link will be sent to your email address. You need to give your first name and last name and then email address. Your link will be sent to you, and then from that link you will register yourself.
Sir, so many members are asking for PPT. And
yes, I will send. I will surely send the link of my PPT.
Okay. Mr. Rajkumar Singh is asking, NDL must link with all colleges and university libraries for maximizing the resource. Okay, it's the compliment.
Yeah. This is a suggestion. Dr. Dinesh Goel wants to say something. Should I connect?
Yeah. Wait a minute, sir. I just.
No, he's already. He was on the stream.
Wait a second.
Yeah. Yes, I'll add him.
Sir, I just want to thank you for this all presentation. And especially, I noticed that a lot of work has been done by NDL on COVID also. Preparing a separate repository during COVID is a great effort. And I just want to thank you for this all presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Banerjee, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thanks all.
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me for this session. Thank you, Dr. Goel. Thank you, Sunita ji. We'll meet sometime at your college. Also.
We'll be waiting to meet you, sir. We'll be waiting to meet you, sir.
Okay.
Take care, sir. Take care, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.